All right, well, welcome everybody. It's June 3rd today, and we're going to do an amazing what's new and an update on everything about our project tonight. So I want to welcome you. I am Shelley Barnaby. I am lots of things. Tonight, I am here in my capacity as the Chief Operating Officer of Asland. And we're going to talk a little, if that name sounds new to you, it's not really new. It's really what this is like a formal coming together of the projects that we've had going on now for a while, particularly, I think all of you are involved in the TMN project. And can I just tell you that this is something that's been in the works for a long time. And we just didn't want to wait. We didn't want to wait with TMN. The opportunity was there, and sometimes things don't all slide into place at exactly the right time. And I know that many of you were coming out of other projects, and it last year was rough for people, a rough year financially. There was just so much going on. And so my policy around that has been that I never want to withhold opportunities from anyone. So even though the pieces didn't all fit together with perfect timing, we started the pre-sale with TMN, and I'm going to talk to you now about the overall vision for what we have going on, what's new, what the opportunities are for you. And I am so excited to share that I think what we have going for us that is absolutely amazing within the realm of this whole business partnership is that it's just founded on the concept of freedom. Okay, one thing you're going to hear tonight, you never have to buy a package for any part of whatever parts of this business you're interested in, whatever parts of this you want to participate in as somebody trying to grow your income or hedge against inflation, all of those things, there isn't going to be a cost to you other than the money that you choose to put into your own portfolio. And I think that that is what sets this apart. No matter what, with everything, you're going to see familiar products. You're going to see a lot of familiar things and things that you all are already excellent in and you're knowledgeable around, and so many of those. So there might be a couple new things, but at the same time, you're all experts in this realm already. And so now we just have an opportunity to bring in business partners and to bring sales to people in a way where they never have to buy a package that they don't need to use. So what we have with Asland is you have the opportunity to be a customer of ours or a business partner, either one. You are already, I think all of you are TMN. If you are TMN customers, you're automatically a business partner with TMN. Some of you have already signed up to be business partners with asland.com. And if you haven't done that yet, no worries. I'm going to give you a little instruction tonight if that's something you want to be a part of. We will show you that as well. I'm going to show you right now. So who's familiar with the concept minimum viable? Can I just be very transparent and tell you that that's where we're operating right now is under minimum viable. You saw it with TMN Global. You're going to see it with Aslan tonight. We have a vision. We have somebody working on a beautiful website that very much reflects the branding of the company. And at the same time, I like to go fast. I want you to be able to go fast. I don't want to withhold the opportunity for people to earn income just because we don't have a beautiful website with where it's completely and professionally put together. So right now we're going with function over form. It does not mean for 1 second that I do not care about form, because those of you that know me, I mean, I used to teach university English. So do I care about the details? You betcha. I do care about the details, and they rub me raw every day. Every time I see a spelling error, I come unglued. At the same time, it's about priorities. And so right now our priorities are getting the information out there, being and fixing that stuff as soon as possible. I kind of liken what we're doing right now to we're building the plane while we're flying the plane. All right. We're building it in the air. And that's just what we're gonna do. We're gonna move and we're gonna move fast because technology is not gonna wait for us to catch up. And I also know that but that won't be for everyone. For people that really like that perfection and are extremely detailed oriented, usually that's me, guys. Um, they might want to wait, and that's okay. You just have to be very upfront with people and say, if you can take some rough edges, take a look, and if you want to wait till it's perfect, we'll let you know. Um, so also is a little bit of action for any of you that are part of the income incentive pool from TMN. I'm going to update you on that and give you some actions that you need to take around that if you haven't already. So without any further ado, let's get right to it and talk about. So Asland is a company based in Florida. It has some subsidiary companies that Asland itself kind of takes ownership of, and that includes, we'll talk about those in a minute. It also includes two business relationships, really three, but two particular business relationships. You all have seen the TMN presentation where we've talked about EM Global that has precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. We've talked about EMH that has the rare earth and technology metals. Both of those companies will continue to be an integral part of TMN Tokens Coin Shop. We've talked about the metals baskets that will be available eventually in the TMN Coin Shop, and those are still going to be there. At the same time, these companies are long-standing and functioning. They didn't become $7 billion. They didn't sell $7 billion worth of materials and metals by waiting until the crypto market was ready. And so you can see there's some changes in the timeline for TMN token because Alexander Vermasher experienced some health issues, and he's had to step back a little, not be able to work as many hours. And so we have brought some new people on board. It took a little training time, but we're determined to do that project right. We've all been parts of things that haven't been done right. And as much as nobody likes to slow down, it's better to slow down and make sure that that's done correctly when it comes to the launch of that token. We want a cryptocurrency that is highly marketable within the crypto community. We have brought on a brand new amazing company called Amazix that's going to market that for us, and you're going to see a little bit of update about that timeline as well tonight. But when it comes to EMH and EM Global, Asland has secured a proprietary contract with both of those companies so that we are their North American counterpart. All right. So right now, like we were looking at, remember when I would talk about the fact that they had these 400 business partners and, they're highly successful, by the way. They're making a very good average income, those business partners that they have that are existing all over Europe. They have a language barrier when it comes to, they have customers now in the US or have had some customers in the US, but they definitely are busy serving Europe. So we are going to serve the US. How about that? And it won't be in conflict with what's available in the coin shop because people are looking to pay for, if they're going to buy metals baskets from the TMN coin shop, they want to pay with crypto. Okay. They want to use their TMN token, or they want a way, like maybe there's someone who has a lot of cryptocurrency like Ethereum or Bitcoin, and they're looking for a way to move over into precious metals or strategic metals. Now with the coin shop, they'll be able to do that. And those baskets there, though, are kind of predetermined. So when you as part of Aslan, if you want to be an Aslan business partner, you have the opportunity to market through EM Global precious metals packages where people can do two things. Number one, they design exactly what they want. They may want 1, 2, 3, or 4 precious metals. They may want to, I mean, they make some suggestions. They tell people like, here's one that's a hedge against inflation. As you can imagine, it's pretty much all gold. If you are looking for growth, it might have a different, ratio of those metals. At the same time, the other thing that I know is amazing and you're going to love is there are lots of people that want to acquire metals that don't necessarily have a big upfront investment. They maybe don't have $5,000 or $10,000 to plunk down right now today and to buy a metals basket. So what if I told you that through EM Global, people can acquire precious metals, also true of EMH, and they could acquire rare earth and technology metals for as little as $50 a month. And they can choose their term. They can choose for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years. And you as the salesperson, not only do you get paid, but you get to the opportunity to build an organization. It's not network marketing, but basically it's a sales organization and you get some upfront commissions. You have the opportunity over time to level up in that company. We're not going to go over the whole compensation plan tonight. I will go over that with all of you and also get that recorded for everybody that wants to very clearly understand it. But this is a career path with these because there's a lot of long-term residual income opportunity. There's also, how many of you, I want you to think back like in your career or in your attempts at network marketing businesses or multi-level businesses, how many of you have pushed super hard? Maybe there was an incentive, or maybe you were brand new and you were really pounding it out. Let me know, like with a 1 or something in the chat, how many of you wish that in that month that you pounded it out and reached the highest level you had ever reached? What if when that new month started, you never had to start that over? Once you reach a level with Aslan, once you reach that level in that sales organization, you never fall back. Can you imagine that? So if you reached, ambassador, elite, emerald, diamond, I don't know what it was, depending on the business, no matter what it was, what if you never came back from that? Okay, so I want so much more than anything to build something with all of you that allows you to, I don't know, go to your kid's graduation, have a family reunion, take a vacation, not work 18 hours a day. I want okay, thanks for telling me, Nancy. Wonder if is this better? Oh, you know what it is? It's the chat. If I want to see the chat, then I think you guys see something else. So hopefully that did it. 1 second. Now I can't see. Who knows? Wendell says there's several.
There's 3.
Huh. I wonder what hold on 1 second. Let me just stop this screen share and try it again and see if it makes any difference. Do you still have them? Or is it just when I
You're not sharing your screen right now.
Oh yeah, so you're just seeing. Let me how about now?
In the upper right hand corner, right where your arrow is. Yep, there's a rectangle, and then there's one along the bottom under centric. Yep, that.
Yeah, that's so weird. You know what? Because that's my toolbar. Why is it showing? You have any idea?
Mm-mm. But it's a black bar. And now you just, yeah, when the menus pop up, it's a black bar or black
That
square in
you get
front
a
of.
black bar too? That is odd. Everybody, hold on one second. I'd like to try to solve that because yeah, I just don't know what that is. All right, well, we're just gonna do our best and I'll try to move it out of the way and I just won't be able to see the chat or see any of you. So if there's something super important, you will have to let me know and I will try to hide this. You're supposed to be away. Hmm. Okay, how about now? Better?
Now it's right in the middle, blocking platinum, palladium. There you go.
Okay, it's gone.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just had to wait. For some reason, anything that pops up for me, who knows? All right, well, we're gonna keep going. Thanks, you guys. See, there's a good example of minimum viable, and of course we're recording, but we'll get it worked out. So as I was saying, imagine the company where once you've achieved a rank, you don't have to worry about falling backward. You don't have to worry if if you take care of somebody in your family for a month who's ill, or if you do take a vacation, or if something just gets really hectic and busy in life, you don't have to worry about falling back. Instead, it's a lot more like a standard career path where there's, just a little wiggle room. I'm not saying that we won't all have to work hard, but we've been doing that anyway for a very long time. What I'm talking about is finding a way to reward that effort over time and to allow each of you. I don't know about you, but I'm somebody who really I like to work hard and then I like to play hard. I like to work long days and then I like to take days completely off. And so whether you're a slow and steady, whether you're a tortoise or a hare, you could work this out and be highly successful in the way that this is structured. So we will be planning some longer trainings around very in depth around how those work. And I will tell you this, like you get paid weekly when you do those contracts. It's set up so that you will get paid directly from EMH and EM Global as an ACH deposit, like a direct deposit right into your bank account. So you can know you're going to get paid routinely. You don't have to do this credit card business or debit card business, nothing like that. It'll go directly into your account. So with TMN token, I gave you a little bit of an update there. We are right at the beginning of Amazix starting their whole marketing campaign and getting prepared for the ICO. So we're in this phase now where this is, I would say we're getting into the last days of people being able to do the pre-sale, especially with the 10% bonus. So if you have people that you've been waiting to show TMN token to, if you have people that are waiting based on the price of crypto or anything like that, now's the time to think about getting those things taken care of pretty soon with TMN token, because before you know it, we're going to be back on track with a release of the white paper, and you're going to see an updated timeline for that whole project. But we're moving forward with TMN and just really positive things. If you are somebody who still has some outstanding issues there, just know that Sadat Demir is working through all of those right now. Nobody's going to get left behind. There are a couple things that we're not quite sure how we're going to make sure that those get solved, but I give you my word that they are going to be solved. We're going to make sure that they get solved before we go forward. And we will talk about the pool in a minute. I have a separate slide for that. So Centric Precious Metals is an Asland company, and it's kept totally separate. That's part of our vision with Aslan is to make sure that each entity um, is singular, is protected, is, you know, a lot of times we have seen, I think in other companies, or you see where there's somebody has a really innovative idea. If you have an innovative idea, especially around things to do with banking, financial services, any of those kinds of things, um, they're always in a state of flux. You never know who's going to come down the road and say, hey, I don't think you should be able to do that. Hey, I'm not sure if that's legal. Hey, I don't like this. I don't like that. I mean, we experience that all the time in the trucking industry too. All of a sudden, there would be a new rule about something environmental, or, it was just kind of a constant thing. So by keeping each entity in a separate business, it assures for you, our business partners, that your livelihood is not in jeopardy. Because if you ever had to make a lateral shift, let's say you were really highly promoting the 1 gram centric gold cards, and all of a sudden there was an issue, or what if there's a supply issue, or what if there's a slowdown in delivery or something like that, you can move right over to EM Global and you can continue to serve your customers with the gold in EM Global. So it's about setting up a system where you can always feel secure that that the companies are functioning independently enough of each other that it's not going to ever put your business in danger from moving forward. So Centric Precious Metals, right now we have 1 gram gold cards soon to be released that you'll be able to purchase. We're planning like an ongoing monthly. So if somebody wants to do it monthly and set aside a certain amount every single month, that will be available. The contract for the manufacture of gold is from Nadir. So LBMA Gold, the same as many of you are used to, comes from the exact same place, but will be shipped from the US. Okay, right now, it will not be super fast turnaround. It's going to depend a little bit on the volume of sales, because having that, it will have to be shipped like in large quantities to the US and then distributed to the buyers. But you'll know it's coming right from the US. And the long-term plan would be to build up a large reserve so that it's very quick shipping. The other thing that I think most of you will really love is that this gold is very marketably priced, very close to other 1 gram gold cards available in the US as well. The big difference being that this has a compensation plan attached. So if you've ever wanted to be able to market 1 gram gold cards to your customers and actually have a commission available to you, then you're going to love what we have to offer with Centric. And then that kind of brings us to our accelerated performance platform. So you may have heard that with TMN token, many of you started the income incentive pool, and 1 month in, that was turned off. There were some issues with the way the computer program worked, and they've decided to take some time and get that in play for the long term so that that's functioning better. So eventually that will probably be coming back. But in the meantime, and that's all part of TMN, okay? So the income incentive pool was completely within the company TMN. Accelerated Performance Platform is a separate company under Aslan, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that on another slide. So where can you go? How can you start looking at all of this and really understand what's at play? So this is a temporary website as we're having a more professional site built. You can go to aslan.com. What you're going to find there, a little bit about our story. Here, as you can see, if you click on EMH and EM Global, it will take you directly to the translation of those companies' websites. So feel free to dig in there. Some of them are going to be in, some parts of those downloads are going to be in German, but one of the things that you can see there are like how their metals baskets have performed over the years. There's access to the audits there, a lot of those kinds of things. And eventually you're going to see a more Americanized or North American version of EMH and EM Global. But for now, people have the opportunity to see those sites in their translated form there. If you click on the resources tab at the top of Aslan, that's where you can get the business partner contracts. So if you want to market the EMH and EM Global products, the precious metals and the technology metals, you will have to click on those and fill out those contracts. Now, there are a couple of ways you can do it. They are PDF fillable forms. So you can download them to your computer, type it all in, fill them out, and email them back to info@aslan.com. So if one of my leaders would put that in the chat, that would be amazing. info@aslan.com is where you can send back your business partner contracts. If you have any trouble with like, let's say for some reason you download the form and you fill it all in and it doesn't seem like it wants to retain that information when you attach it to send it back. I know a few people have had trouble with that. Then what I'm going to recommend to you is before you try to save it and attach it, snap a picture with your phone or take a screenshot or something like that. Or, you could even go so far as to print it out old school, scan it, and send it back. We are going to just figure out a way to be very solution oriented around this. So if you have any trouble with either order forms or business partner contracts, that is really what our work it out hours in the coming weeks are going to be for. Okay. I fully anticipate and expect that everybody's going to have some questions around this. And right now, that I know that the training is not fully in place for you to, I mean, I still look at these forms and I say, wait, what am I supposed to put here again? How does this work? My suggestion to you is to start with an order of your own. I know for me, I don't really have any rare earth and technology metals. It's not required. Okay. You do not have to even make a purchase. You do not even have to be an EM Global or EMH customer in order to market their products. I'm going to recommend it to you for a couple of reasons, because you'll always do better as a salesperson if it's a product you own and use and you have access to the back office and you can see what kinds of things your customers are going to get and the communication. And at the same time, it just shows your level of belief. Now, I'm somebody that has, for example, I have a lot of precious metals. So I'm going to do a one-time order. You can do a one-time order. You have that opportunity. You can choose an amount and do a one-time order. So that's what I'm doing with EM Global is I did a one-time order for some precious metals that I haven't previously saved in platinum and palladium. Those are newer for me. And on the other hand, I don't have any rare earth and technology metals, and I had kind of been waiting for the coin shop. Now what I can do instead is I can hold that TMN token, which is what I really want to do. I want to hold it until we have the opportunity to have a stable coin. So I want to be hodling that for the long haul anyway. So now I can use EMH and I can pay monthly, choose a monthly amount as low as $50 a month. And I can do it for 10 years, for 20 years, for 30 years. And then I can keep adding every single month to how much I have in rare earth and technology metals. I think that's a great way to do it because you're really experiencing like value cost averaging, the same thing that people do when they commit like to something on the stock market and they just put some money in every single month and it kind of rides that up and down wave. So I'm pretty excited about being able to do that with the rare earth and technology metals to buy those over time. So here's the other amazing thing. In this business, your own purchases count for your own volume. What? That's crazy. When have you ever been in a business where where what you purchase can count for yourself. So I think that's a pretty neat thing as well. So, and on the Aslan website, you'll see that Accelerated Performance Platform and Centric Precious Metals, those aren't live quite yet from their site. We started an incentive a couple days ago. We're extending it already because all these training materials that I know you need to have access to, I'm going to give you enough time, okay? But we really want you to participate in this incentive and accelerate your income because, and you have until July 15th, this turbo boost strategy allows you to reach a level 2 sales position with literally half the effort. Normally, every 6 months, somebody has 6 months to create 200 units and get 3 business partners. And when they do that, they move from EMH and EM Global level 1 up to level 2. Well, with the Turbo Boost strategy, you only need 100 units and 3 business partners. Normally it's 6. So basically with half the effort, you can achieve that, and it gives you essentially a 50% pay raise. And again, your own purchases count. So the way that the units are determined, and again, I'm going to go over it briefly tonight, and just know that with this whole Turbo Boost strategy and the compensation plan, I'll have a longer detailed video that you can go back to again and again so that that's something you can watch and understand. And always bring questions to the work it out hours, anything like that. We want you to understand how this works. It's a little more complicated, right? Because we kind of have the compensation plan that comes with TMN. We have a slightly different compensation plan that comes through EMH and EM Global. And so there are more moving pieces, but the beauty of that is, let's say you're somebody who's like all about standard precious metals, or let's say you're somebody who only wants to deal in crypto, or you only want to work with 1-gram cards. No matter what it is, this is like the ultimate a la carte buffet. You have lots of options and you can choose the ones that absolutely resonate with you. So it's all about the units with EMH and EM Global. So you do not have to do this for both businesses. I had that question, like, do you have to get 100 units in both to move up to level 2? No, this is combined. So you can market precious metals and rare earth and technology metals. Let's say you do a contract like me, one of each, yourself. Both of the units from both of those are absolutely going to count for you. And the way that you determine the units is that if it's a one-time purchase, we divide by 1,700, and a monthly contribution, we divide by 2,000. So here's what that looks like. Let's say somebody made a one-time purchase of 2,500. You divide that by 1,700, it's 1.47 units, okay? And the business partner gets paid out based on their level. So if you're a level 1, it's 20 euros. If you're a level 2, it's 30 euros. See why you want that pay raise? Because for the same number of units, you're going to get a larger amount of pay. And as you move up to level 2, level 3, level 4, that enables you to get the differential on your entire sales group. Okay, so you never have to build a team, but if you build a team, you're going to be amply rewarded for building that team and helping them along, because you will always make the differential between your pay and theirs. A monthly contribution, you're going to see where the units really add up here. So if somebody was to put $100 a month away for 10 years, that is 100 times 12 months in a year times 10 years is a total of 12,000. Okay, so you add up the whole total contribution over the length of the contract, divide that by 2,000, and that basket, if you will, for lack of a better term, is going to reward you with 6 units. Now, those don't seem like very big units, right? 1.47 and 6 units. And I'll admit that would take quite a few people to get there. However, I want to show you the power of bringing people into a longer term contract, okay? Or Right now, sometimes people are getting windfall payments. One thing that's going on like crazy around here is a lot of people are selling their homes. People who have retired who are thinking about downsizing, there's a huge upswing in the real estate market. So they're selling their homes, but they also are terrified to be all in cash. So they're looking for a way to hedge against inflation. And there's no better way historically to hedge against inflation than with precious metals. So they could do a one-time purchase, even a $10,000 purchase divided by 1700. You'll see that's 5.88 units, almost 6 units for a one-time purchase. But like a monthly contribution, let's say somebody has a little bit more, they can put away 600 a month for 30 years. So if you had 600 a month times 12 months times 30 years, because that total is so much larger, that one sale would bring you 108 units, and you would have just done it with one sale. Now you might say, who do I have that could do 600 a month? You might be very surprised. Did you know, for example, that the average cable bill in the United States is something like 230, I don't know, 230 something dollars a month? I was amazed. The average car payment in the United States now is over $700 a month. And so that floors me just because we're just not a family that borrows against a depreciating, I hesitate to even call it a depreciating asset, because the minute you drive off the lot, you've lost money. So instead, let's encourage people to start putting away into their own monthly contribution towards something that's building their wealth over time. Not to mention that while you're getting these units, you are getting that 20 euros per unit. So you're going to make well over 2,000 US dollars just by reaching Turbo Boost. So in the next 4 to 6 weeks, let's get you paid that over 2,000 US dollars, as well as move 50% or move up in pay by 50%. So let's talk a little bit about the income incentive pool. That pool is opened back up. So if you are somebody who put money into that pool, what you should have is an email like this from Sadat at TMN. And there's an attached document that comes in this email that explains the options. So I want to tell you, first of all, this is TMN sending you the email. So they're going to tell you about 3 options. Those 3 options are: you can convert what's in the income incentive pool into more TMN with a bonus at 10%. So that's like option A. I can't remember if they call it option 1 or option A. That's one option. The middle option is you can release your funds and they'll go back into your TMN back office. They show up under US dollars there if you do this. And you're basically releasing the funds from the pool. That's your second option. The third option is to do a combination of those, where you put some into TMN and you release some. The part that gets released into US dollars, you will get the 2.2% based on the number of days that you held it. Like not everybody came in on the exact number of days with the same exact number of days. And so what happens is this: if you choose to release it. So for example, I chose to release mine, and I'll tell you why in a second, but I chose to release mine. And then after you release it, you're going to see the instructions in here say to email back Sadat at TMN Global and let them know what your choice is. Which of those 3, that is, you have to do that part. You can't just release them in the back office and not send the email and tell them what you want them to do. So, and you have to do it from your own email as well. I know sometimes when we're leaders of teams, we like to batch them all up and tell them but we need to do it from the email that's related to the account and send it to them and tell them what we want done with it. So One thing that they're not going to be able to talk to you about because they don't even know about it is a fourth option. And that is, you find it right now at Asland, not .com, but .net. And you're going to see a very simple back office platform. It's very simple. It looks exactly like this. If you're new on the platform, you can create an account. It's basically going to ask for your email and password, and that is all. And then if you click on new investment, you're going to see here that we have a performance platform. It's a separate business under Asland called Accelerated Performance Platform. The minimum amount to participate, you're going to see it there in US dollars, but this is a Bitcoin platform, which means when you get paid out that up to 3% per month, that is going to be paid to you every month in Bitcoin. But here's the other great thing. The minimum amount is only $50. So people can participate and start their savings. You know, if you have somebody that can't get $500 together, you can't really say put aside $50 for the next 10 months. They just aren't going to get there. You know, if people have $50, let's get them started with $50. So let me tell you a little bit about what we offer with the Accelerated Performance Platform. It's a Bitcoin platform, and the traders we're working with have a 6-year trading history, okay? You will get up to 3% per month. We're trying to be very conservative about that, not make any guarantees, make sure that we're doing this in a really responsible way. There is a bonus amount possible. Okay, I'm not going to make any promises around that. I'm going to say we're going to talk about the up to 3% per month for now. It also offers you referral bonuses 3 levels deep. Okay, so rather than having to qualify for a pool by having a certain amount of volume or sharing it across the company or whatever, basically your referral bonuses will go 3 levels deep. Your first level is 2%, 1.5%, 1% on your business partner's monthly returns. This is the only time in the company where there's a requirement. And that requirement is that if you want those referral bonuses in the Accelerated Performance Platform, you need to put at least $500 worth of Bitcoin in. You don't have to, you just won't be eligible until you're at the $500 level. You won't be eligible for those 3 levels deep. So this is also a monthly commitment, okay? You have the option. Every time we get to the 23rd of the month by 6 p.m. Eastern, you will have an option to remove your, to move it out. If you let us know by the 23rd, you can deposit anytime during the month, but the platform participation returns will go live for someone based on every half of the month. So on the 7th, anybody who came between the 23rd and the 7th of the month, they'll start earning on the 7th. Anybody who comes between the 7th and the 23rd, or the 8th and the 23rd, they'll start earning on the 23rd. So that allows us, we don't have to hold anybody back from starting. And at the same time, it gives time for it to make its way to the platform and start earning. So everyone will get at least a half a month from the very first time that they participate in the pool. It's paid in Bitcoin. If you leave it there from month to month, it will automatically compound. So here's a little example for you, okay? And again, I am trying very hard to choose. It's a little underwhelming almost because I'm trying so hard to choose really small minimums, but at the same time, I want you to see the possibility here over the long haul. So let's pretend you hold the minimum $500 worth of Bitcoin, and you have that in the performance pool at 3%. That means you would get $15 worth of Bitcoin on your own investment, right? Plus you sponsor 3 business partners who have a total of $10,000 in Bitcoin in the pool that month. So they're earning $300 times 2% is $6 in Bitcoin, okay, on that return. And then in level 2, we're kind of using the same system. So in level 2, those 3 have 3, and those 3 have 3 in level 3. So we're talking about like tiny numbers here, okay? I'm not assuming that anybody's ever bringing more than 3 people and more than $10,000 within those 3 people. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, in the income incentive pool, I had several individuals who started off over 20,000. So it absolutely happens all the time. And as people see the returns and the difference between what they're getting in returns here and from their local bank, you're going to have this increase exponentially. But I want to show you a really small total so you just get a chance to see the math. So you see here that you're getting the 1.5% on the return in level 2 and 1% on level 3. Okay, so here's what I want you to really see. If you had just put your own $500 in, you would have had an amazing return, $15. You understand that at that 3% compounded monthly, in less than 2 years, you're going to double your own money just with this up to 3% in the pool. However, you add in these referrals and look on the side there, your total after example, 6,150. You're quadrupling your rate of return by referring others. Just these minimal referrals essentially turns your $500 into, it's like a money machine. You are making 12% per month by having just made your 3 referrals and helping those people each do 3 referrals. So I'm going to show some big numbers later, but I wanted to start with something really small so that you could see. So what you can do is this very first time if you choose, like I said, TMN is going to give you those 3 options. I'm giving you the 4th option of joining us over here in the accelerated pool, or the pool. I have pool stuck in my head. The accelerated performance platform is your 4th option. So if that's the case, we'll see here exactly how they're going to release the 2.2% to people. That comes. So I got an email back. When you send that email saying that you're going to release those funds, they send you back an email that says what your 2.2% over the amount of time that you had in there and when that's going to be released. And so if you create at aslan.net your account, then you'll be ready for moving it over. And if you don't want to wait, like I wanted to do some right away, we beta tested this for 2 months, and I'm going to show you one more little thing here too in a second. A little brochure that we're working on that you can give out to people. So the important thing right now is if you are a TMN pool participant, follow through with that email confirming your choice and watch for that reply. If you want to join the accelerated performance pool, you need to get registered, aslan.net. You can start with a minimum of $50 in Bitcoin, but remember you need 500 if you want to receive those bonuses 3 levels deep. And like I said, we still have the end of the pre-sale at 9 cents with the $500 minimum and the 10% bonus. And that's going to end here with the publishing of the white paper. So let's, I am going to stop my share just because I cannot see the chat or anything at all with that off. So let's, Nancy, let's talk a little bit about that. Because aslan.net and aslan.com are temporary sites, you might have security certificate issues. Certain browsers will pull up and say, this is not a secure site, do not visit. And like usually down at the bottom, you can say, go there anyway, or advanced options, and you can say, let you into the site anyway. It has to do with paying for a security certificate. And we don't really have an intention of doing that because we have another site under construction and this is just temporary. So if anybody needs to be walked through that, get with the person who sponsored you or come to a work it out and we'll make sure that you can get into that site for sure. So I'm gonna stop the recording here. We're gonna go over this lots of times. I realized tonight was a lot of information. If you have questions, join us on a work it out. I will make sure that this recording is available and you can watch it again, take some notes. I fully anticipate that we're going to have more questions than we have understanding for a little bit because there's a lot of information for sure. We're working to make it short and digestible and all of that. So I'm going to stop the recording and give the rest of you who are here live one more little sneak peek at something, and the rest of you join us Monday night and you'll be able to see that as well.